Good morning, dear listener. Welcome to 88.3 FM. This is Waumini Sofuna. I'm Victor Salamba. This is a wonderful, very wonderful Friday, the first Friday of the month of March. Dear listener, the 5th of March. As we thank God for bringing us this far, in all things, I always say, let us give thanks. Because thanksgiving gives us the capacity to receive. And today, dear listener, as you join me in our morning reflection, I am talking about also just something that is also almost very common, in nearly every family you go to, every marriage you go to. And then I'm talking about why a spouse would hide resources. Why a spouse would hide resources. Now, it's not normal. Let's start from there. It's not normal, but it's not a normal thing, yet it is a common thing. Let me say that. It's not a normal thing, but it is a common thing. But in many relationships, that money is hidden. And many a times people have investments, have resources that no one seems to know. Remember, I always like that money is a delicate issue in every relationship, because money does not make a marriage. I like saying that every time you listen to my talks. I say money doesn't make a marriage, but money can most certainly destroy a marriage. Money does not make a marriage, but money can definitely destroy a marriage. And so attaining financial intimacy for any relationship is very tricky and requires some bit of deliberate work to get it to work. So I'm looking at now, why is it that we are married, we share the same bed, we have 3 children together or 4 children together, but I still want to hide my money, and the other person wants to hide their money. So as much as it is abnormal, as much as it's not normal, yet it is common, let us look at reasons why. Because if I know why my partner would hide money from me, then it would be easier for me now to know how to mitigate, how to meet in the middle, and how to make it work. So why would your partner hide money from you? Or why are you hiding from your partner? Number one reason is this. It's a power play. It's a power play. What do I mean by a power play? Many relationships have a lot of tough wars and fights to be able to assert authority over the other. Now, one of the fastest ways to assert authority in a relationship is normally based on finances, unfortunately. In many relationships, the one who has more money and has the ability to hide it, hasn't brought the money to the table and said this is financial income, that person definitely is hiding it for the power play. That I'm the one who controls the resources because I have the most resources. Therefore, it is easier to control you and get the outcome I desire because I have the money. So at times in marriage, you find someone is hiding their money. It's basically for a power play. They want to control the outcome of decisions. They want to control the direction that things go. And they feel if they don't tell you how much they have, then you won't be able to control it. And if you can't control it, and because I have more, then I can control where we stay. I can control how we spend. I can control where the kids go to school. I can control the car that we buy. I can control every single thing. I can wake up in the morning, go out, come buy myself a new shoe, take my friends out for a drink without being questioned. I am hiding the resources for the sake of power, that I may have an influence over my partner. Number two, very common reason, is a genuine lack of trust. I don't know why couples ignore to look at this. Because it happens in many marriages. It is when one of you has done something that involves money that has made you become untrustworthy. Ulipewa pesa uende ulipe deposit ya plot na ukapotea. You came back after 2 days, ukasema ulikuwa carjacked. Kumbe ulikuwa umepotelea mahali, and you did something else with that money. It is when your partner took out a loan to pay school fees and you ate the money. Alikupea pesa ulivyo mto school fees and you ate the money. Basically, it's that you have done something financial in the marriage that makes you not trusted with the resources. You took out family savings to give to your sister. You took out family savings to give to your mom. You took money that is for the family, ukapeana mahali fulani. Ama ulichukua mshahara yako, ukapelekea mganga. There are things you have done that have made you become untrustworthy. And it's important that my partner is hiding money from me because ukweli last year, I took our family savings na nikapelekea mganga huko Githurai na pesa ikapotelea huko. So from this moment, I should know that they are hiding because they don't trust me. Number three, the fear to be controlled. They fear to be controlled. At the end of the day, every human being doesn't want to be controlled. Sorry. Every human being doesn't want to be controlled on how they should spend their hard-earned money. That is why if you have a financial class in town, it's difficult for people to come in numbers, because many human beings don't want to be told how to control their money or how to spend their money. Now, in a marriage, it's even more complex, because in a marriage, I don't want my partner to instruct me on how I should spend my hard-earned money. That is the general common sense of a human being. When I say this, let me even speak to those who maybe are hearing this, and maybe you have a different school of thought, is to understand that, yes, strictly speaking, financial income in marriage is for the family. Yes, in theory. But the reality is this, is that many people don't want to be told how to spend money that they worked hard to earn. Is it the right thing to do? Absolutely not. But that is a reason why people hide resources. Because I don't want you to guide me on that I should buy airtime. If you don't know airtime, you're 500, you know airtime, you're 100. Or that if I want to go out, I carry only 1,000 shillings. And I want to carry my whole ATM in case Kaumane I am ready to buy everyone drinks or to buy everyone food. It's the fear to be controlled. And if you don't address this fear with your partner, they will never come to the table and be open about it. Number 4, my personal favorite, skeletons in the finances. Sasa hapa ndio where now the rubber begins to meet the road. Because skeletons in finances mean this. Hapa siongee juu ya deni. No. I am talking about dubious things, hidden truths, that one fears. If my partner knows that the money we have in this family is drug money, things will go south. If my partner understands that the money I have here is because I joined a particular cult, that's what I mean by skeletons in the money, that the source of the money, maybe tulikon mtu pesa fulani, or I stole from the office, or I had an illegal, it was an illegal transaction. It is drug money, it is blood money, such kind of money, blood money, drug money, money that is not gotten in a clean way. It is more common for a partner to hide, because anajua vizuri that my salary is 180,000. Now, how do I end up affording to buy a car worth 15 million hard cash? So I'd rather hide my source of income, because the genesis of my money, no one knows. And this is very funny, because in many marriages, actually many people don't know the direct source of their partner's wealth. You just see jamaa anakuja kwa nyumba, anaeka pesa chini ya kitanda, millions under the bed. You have no idea where they came from. You have no idea where that money came from. You wonder, did this person join a cult? Aliingia Illuminati? Alienda wapi? You don't know. People like that hide their money, because the skeletons in the money, if they come out, you might actually leave them. And they don't want anyone to know. Number 5, dear listener, screensaver finances. Screensaver finances. What do I mean by this? And this is a problem that mainly affects men than women. Men have more screensaver resources than women. This is where you marry someone with the illusion that they are financially okay. Kumbe you marry screensaver. The person you have married is languishing in absolute poverty or absolute debt. But they were picking you up in a Mercedes Benz. They were telling you hata sahi niko a bit low on cash because I'm doing this project, or I'm doing this project, oh tunafanya nini. They have so many things that they are doing yet they are not doing. Yani they are rich poor men. This problem, I say, affects men mainly, because many men have lied to women and married them in the illusion that they are doing well. Mna kudanganya yeye ni pilot na hajai kuwa pilot, hata juu ndege zinakwanga wapi. So you marry them assuming that they have resources, yet they don't. Such people will work hard to hide the money. Alikudanganya the work they do. Alikwambia ni director, at a government ministry. Kumbe is a director. Hata ajulikani huko. But it's what I'm calling screensaver finances. Or just people who are so much in debt, they live off credit cards. And they make it look as though they can afford the lifestyle they live. But their entire life, they live off credit cards. Everything they do, they pay power with credit cards. They take care of their family with credit cards. They fuel with credit cards. They live on credit cards their entire life. But screen saver ni wako na pesa. You'll never know. Then number 6, before I go on a break, is dubious financial commitments based on bad habits. Dubious financial commitments. What does Victor mean by this? This is when someone has liabilities that are secretive. Maybe they have gambling debts. Maybe they have debts of Shylocks. Maybe they are sustaining an illicit affair. Kuna msichana na mtoto wake, or a man who's a child somewhere. I know of a particular man who discovered the wife was educating a child she had from a previous marriage. The man never knew the lady had a child. This lady educated this boy until the boy got into campus. Is when the man realizes, after 24 years, that his wife had a child from another relationship. He had never known. And she educated this boy all through. So at times people don't want to know how much, because they are having dubious financial commitments. Or it's a man taking care of a woman living somewhere. Amemchukulia nyumba mahali. And he knows if you look at his income, you will see there's a 50K that goes somewhere every month faithfully. 50K inaendaga wapi? Dubious financial commitments. This can be either, I've said, gambling debts, Shylocks, sustaining an illicit relationship. People with such dubious commitments never ever tell you where the money is. And number 7, dear listener, based on last week, they are paying the black man tax. Basically, people who come from families that overly depend on them financially, and they marry spouses who come from opposite families. You are a woman who comes from a family where everyone depends on you, or a man, and you're marrying someone who in their family, people are independent, the parents are financially stable, they are okay, and yours are not. Many times such people tend to hide resources because they believe that you will not understand that they have to support their siblings, they have to support their mother, their sister, their brothers. They'll always hide money, but they may support their family members for the sake of peace. That if you don't know, you will not frustrate this process. That is another reason, dear listener. After this short break, I'll be able to give you the remaining 4. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear listener. I'm Victor Salamba, dear listener. And I'm talking about why your partner would hide resources from you, why your partner would hide money from you. And the reason I'm talking about is because it's very common. Yet it is not supposed to be common, but it is common. We have marriages where people are always hiding money from each other. So I was giving a reason or reasons why people hide money from each other. But you may be able to understand, if this is the problem, then how do I go around it? My partner is hiding money because they want to control it or whatever. Let me understand. Then I can be able to fix. Our SMS line remains 0111 973 711. 973 711. That is our SMS line. Talk to me on Bramwell here until 8 o'clock, dear listener, to answer all of your questions. Do you hide money from your partner? Does your partner hide money from you? And any other relationship or marriage question you may have, dear listener, we are more than available for you. The SMS line is 0111 973 711. And remember, this will be available on my Facebook page within the course of the day. My Facebook page is Victor Salamba. You'll be able to find it there, dear listener. Number 8 is this. Very strange one. I put this in parentheses. Number 8 reason why someone would hide money from their spouse is fear for one's life. Fear for one's life. Now, this is another thing as well that seems to affect men again, more often than not. Yes, because but despite that, I'd say something else as well. But also, it affects many people who married for status. Those who married for status and basically married for money. Or if your partner suspects that you married them for money and you married them for status and not because you loved them. I want to be clear. This often happens to couples who married for status and married for money. Or they believe that you married them for status and married for money. Then they'll keep secrets because they think that you will kill them to take what they have. So they'd rather hide. Of course, I say this every time. It is the silliest thing on the planet to do, because if you're married to someone, you sleep on the same bed. You're already at a place where your life is literally in their hands. Because what can happen to you in the night, only you and God know. But what happens is this, dear listener, is that at times we hide resources because we think if my wife knew, she would kill me, or if my husband knew, he'd kill me. Akijua niko na pesa fulani, they'd kill me and take my money. So you'd rather they don't know. Now, when you marry for status, or you marry for money, or you believe that is what has happened, automatically, dear listener, such a person will never disclose. And that's why I've always said that if you're marrying someone who has already made it, you have to be very careful, because there are things you might never know. There are things you might never know. And I see in marriage the time someone getting married to someone who has accrued a lot of wealth, and you get married and you want to start controlling their wealth. It is difficult to enter into a marriage where someone already made their money and you want to have a right on their money. It's a difficult marriage. Let me be very honest. And those of you who are in those marriages, you know it is difficult. It is different for a marriage where you began together with nothing and you built together. Such marriages, if at all there's a hiding of finances, the differences of the reasons are very different. But if you found you married someone who had already made their billions and you come into their lives and you have not made your billions, they'll automatically think you'll kill them one day. That is the weirdest thing. Na nimesema. Number 9, cultural and social upbringing. This is another important point. Some people, dear listener, some people were just simply raised in a particular way. Their culture encouraged them to keep their partners in the dark when it comes to finances. There are just some cultures that are that way. There are people who are raised that way because of their culture, their environment, the social upbringing, that your partner never knows how much you have. There are particular people who are raised that way because they were taught that as a woman, your husband should never know pahali umeficha pesa. Kuna pesa unafichanga mahali, ununua shamba mahali nini, hafai kujua. Just in case. You know, then there are men who are told the same thing. Your wife should never know how much you have, blah, 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 just in case. So it's at times just cultural and social upbringing, also based on the fact that maybe I saw my mother suffer financially as a woman. I saw my mom bring all her salary to my dad, and my dad controlled resources, and my mom was miserable. So there is no way on earth I'm going to allow this to happen. That is upbringing, you know. So when I talk about upbringing, that's what I simply mean, dear listeners. At times it's how we are raised, or maybe the culture I come from, or the area that I was raised, people just work that way. Men hide money from their wives. So at times understand that if I did such a person, then I should know that I'm not dealing with him, but the entire community. Number 10, undermining each other based on financial income and academic knowledge. Kwa Kiswahili tungesema kudharauliana. Anakudharau because you don't have the resources or you don't have the education. I have had men who have told their wives that keep your money away from me. We can't put our money together. Pesa yako ni kama change. Kana change yako, usitufanya mambo ya budgeting. I have had wives telling the husband the same thing. I don't need your money. I can survive without your money. So please keep your money to yourself. We can't put our money together. We can't budget together. Pesa yako ni kidogo sana. Eno peane pesa yako pale pengine. At times that is the reason. Secondly also, is one of you is more educated than the other, and they have intellectual discrimination, whereby what can you tell me? Mimi niko na masters, wewe ulikwamia form 4. We can't have a discussion about money. We just can't talk. You can't reason. That is another reason why people hide money. Now the funny thing is that the one amedharauliwa, the day that they make money is normally a sad day in that home. Because more often than not, wakudharauliwa always finds a breakthrough somewhere. And things become tricky. Story for next week. Number 11, dear listener, historical financial injustice. This is when a partner once trusted a partner who was once trusted totally misbehaves and misuses the trust of the other person when it regards to money. Historical financial injustice also means this. It means that the time that I didn't have, you tortured me. The time I didn't have a job, you tortured me. Ukiwa nacha 50 bob kwa meza, unaniambia jipange. Ulinitesa kama sina. Now that I have, I won't even let you know that I have. I will do my things in secret because you punished me when I didn't have money. That's what I mean, historical financial injustice. Or, I once trusted you and you betrayed my trust when it came to money. You told me to come to get married to you because I had no job. You knew I had no job. I trusted you. But now when I got married to you, you began mistreating me. So when I get my money, you'll never know how much money I have. That is historical financial injustice in many marriages. And number 12, which should be number 1, is a general dysfunction in the marriage. Let me be very clear, dear listener. If your marriage is not working on all fronts, then automatically financially you will hide you will hide money. I always say this. But if a couple cannot talk about basic things, if there's no flow of communication in the marriage, then you can't talk about money. If you can't talk about sex with your partner, you will never talk about money. Whenever I'm called to places to talk about finances in marriages, I always begin by asking the couple, first of all, are you connected? Do you communicate? Do you talk about life? Do you talk about sex? Do you talk about religion? Do you talk about the things that make you? If your marriage is dysfunctional, dear listener, there is no way I'm gonna budget na pesa. You never talk about money with your enemy. You don't do business with your enemy. It's as simple as that. So if your partner and you are at a place where there's conflict, then automatically, dear listener, they have every reason to hide money from you and you to them. But remember, this reflection will be found on my Facebook page. My Facebook page is Victor Salamba. On Facebook, Victor Salamba, you will find this reflection and all other reflections that I've done on my Facebook page.